This is the MBRP Armor Plus single exhaust system, available for your 2014 and newer Ram 2500 gasser, complete with the aggressive race sound profile and dual polished tips. Now you guys should be checking out the Armor Plus system from MBRP for your 6.4 liter powered truck if you are looking to go big in regards to both diameter and sound. Now the Armor Plus will pack that 4-inch diameter tubing throughout, along with plenty of bark and a 409 grade stainless build, all for right around that low $1,000 price point. All right, let's get right into the sound you can expect here with the MBRP bolted up, and the race version is bringing the heat here with plenty of bark overall, but more importantly, I love how it maintains a nice deep earth-shaking tone throughout the rev range. That's easily one of my favorite things here about this system, and I think something a lot of customer reviews actually note as well. So breaking out my wake to neighbor scale, I'm gonna put the Armor Plus 4-inch system at a 4 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to wake to neighbor scale. Yes, this thing is aggressive, but I would say that deep tone helps keep it out of the 5 out of 5 territory. Now, some of that aggressive tone does find its way inside the truck under hard acceleration, but that aggressiveness, I would say, does fade over the 60-mile-an-hour cruising mark here. It doesn't really get that boomy inside the truck. Now, word of caution though, for all my heavy towers out there, again, we are talking about the HD, that additional load you are putting on your gasser is going to add a little bit more boom inside the cab while cruising. So if you do a lot of heavy towing, that is something to keep in mind when going with something as aggressive as the race profile. Now, a lot of times MBRP will also give you their street profile as well. Certainly is going to tone down that volume a little bit, and if that is a concern of yours, you might want to check that out instead. All right, getting into our construction segment, and this system, the Armor Plus, again, is MBRP's, what I like to call the middle of the road offering, thanks largely to the materials used. And again, that is that full 409 grade stainless steel throughout. Now, this is a very, very good material that I would have no problem recommending to truck owners in all 50 states, because that 409 grade stainless is still robust enough to fend off a lot of long-term corrosion, and MBRP certainly agrees, as they do back this system with their limited lifetime warranty. But materials aside, again, this system is packing that bigger is better motto, thanks to the 4-inch mandrel bent tubing throughout here, leading into and out of your high performance straight through MBRP race muffler. And that, again, really is responsible for allowing for all that volume and shaping the tone with this system. Now, the exclamation point, or points I should say, with this system comes from the equally massive 5-inch tips. Again, as you can see here, you are getting dual 5-inch tips thanks to the little polished Y-pipe. And again, that system is going to dump out of the factory location behind that passenger side rear tire. Now, the MBRP system does kick in all of the necessary clamps, hangers, hardware needed for a pretty painless install, as we'll show you guys here in a little bit. But moving into our pricing segment, and again, the Armor Plus with its full 4-inch stainless steel build will land north of $1,000 here, which does put it amongst other similar systems in the category that match up with the materials and build quality. Now, with that being said, if you really like the tone and the layout of the MBRP along with that 4-inch diameter, but maybe you live in a nicer climate like Florida, Arizona, California, well, I would always recommend checking out MBRP's Armor Light system instead. That system is going to utilize aluminized steel in place of stainless steel. Save you a lot of money, save you a few $100 at least, but just keep in mind the aluminized steel isn't going to be as durable as the stainless long term, and therefore MBRP does not back that system with a lifetime warranty. So just keep that in mind. All right, last but not least, what do you say we get into our installation segment? And the site's gonna call this a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. Now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you will need a pry bar, an impact, a ratchet, an 8mm Allen socket, 15mm socket, a hanger removal tool, a dead blow hammer, and also not shown here is the jack and jack stands. Today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our Ram, but before we get started, we're going to send you to watch a quick video on how to remove your factory setup, and we'll see you when you get back. All right, so to get started, we have the truck in the air, and we're going to need to remove our factory exhaust system first. Now we're removing from the factory resonator back, and it's held on by a few hangers and some slip joint clamps. So we're going to loosen up those clamps to give us a little bit more wiggle room. We're going to pull our tail section first and then move on to our resonated section. So we've got a 15 mil socket on our impact to loosen up this clamp on the resonator outlet. Loosen up this clamp. Now, one thing to take note of is a lot of times these new trucks, especially the Rams, have a coating on all the hardware to prevent rust and corrosion. You might need to scrape some of that off to get the proper size socket on, which again is at 15 mil. And we've got that loose. We'll go back and get our hanger out of the isolator. All right, so now we're gonna get after our hanger that's in our factory isolator back here at the OEM muffler. Now, you do not have a lot of room to get in here. So you're gonna have to kind of fish your hanger tool between your muffler and the spare tire and get that on. If you're having too much trouble with that, we'll grab a pry bar and try to work this loose that way. Now we've got a pry bar in here. This is a little bit easier to at least get this moving. Work this all the way to the end. You wanna try not to damage this isolator while you're doing this, but again, this is pretty tight quarters. Now we're gonna work our tail section and muffler out. It should be freed up a good bit. You wanna try to work this as best you can by hand, if possible. But if it doesn't wanna come, bring back that pry bar. Now once you've got it to the point where it's coming off of the resonator, pull that off and fish that out. Now that we have our tail section off, we're gonna work on our factory resonator. Now we've got a pull jack under the back end of the resonator to help support it, and we've got to loosen this clamp as well. Again, this one's held on by a clamp with a 15 mil nut. We've got our 15 mil socket on a ratchet this time. You can't really get an impact in here. Now we'll loosen this up, ratchet. Now again, these are pretty well coated from the factory to prevent corrosion. You're gonna have to fight with that a little. Just get that nice and loose. There's also corrosion on the thread, so you wanna be careful of that. Make sure it comes out with the nut. Next, we're gonna remove the two isolators at the rear of the resonator. So we've got our hanger removal tool. It might be easier to get them off from the top side, from the chassis side, rather than the exhaust side. I'm gonna pop these off. Now this side also has a ground that you'll need to pop off of the hanger. It just comes right off like so. I'll work this one off. Now we can get our forward isolator off of our hangers. This one you may have to work from the top as well. Pretty tight quarters. Now we're gonna work our resonator off, and we have sprayed some penetrating lubricant at the slip joint. It's gonna make things a little bit easier, especially if this has never been off before. You just wanna work this. You may have to lower your pull jack. Now if this thing is being really stubborn, you can take a dead blow mallet. We're gonna smack the front of our resonator and get this persuaded to move. Once you get close to having this off, you definitely wanna be careful. This is heavy. And we can bring that down and out. Now that we have our factory system off and on the ground, if you did go the way of removing your isolators with your exhaust, we're gonna need to pop those off of our hangers so we can use them on our new system. So we've got our hanger removal tool. Just gonna pop these right off. Then we'll do the same thing for the rest of them. So now we're ready to install our new setup. The first thing we're gonna do is grab one of our factory isolators and we're gonna reinstall that onto our factory chassis side hanger right here. We'll get that in position. Pop that on. Next thing we're gonna do is grab our provided hanger clamp. We'll get that onto our mid-pipe section. Spin that around. We're gonna line that up with our isolator. We'll get that in place. That should come right about to the end of this stock pipe. After that, we're gonna grab our small extension pipe. It does have a locator for your factory dowel on your factory section. So we'll slide this on. We'll slide this clamp over that. It does get a little tricky. Should be able to get it in place. Have to fiddle with it a little. Find your dowel, and you can get that fully seated, just like so. Next, we can install our muffler section. So we've got a clamp that we're gonna slide over our inlet side slip joint. We'll get this onto our extension pipe. That fully seated. Next, we're gonna get our outlet section in. So we're gonna grab our other clamp, slide that onto our slip joint. And we'll grab our outlet pipe. We do already have our isolators on our new hangers. You can flip those down so they're out of the way for now. These are gonna go into our 2 factory hangers on our cross member. Now we'll get our outlet section in place. Line our isolators up and get those on. And you wanna reconnect that ground strap onto your hanger. Now we can get our over axle section in place. So once again, we'll slide our provided clamp over, just so that's on here. We're gonna send our over axle over our axle. You wanna route that over your track bar. You wanna maneuver this in place. That fully seated. Make sure it's pointing where you want it. It's not going to hit your heat shield or your frame. Now, sometimes you may have better luck taking this isolator off and putting it onto our Y-pipe hanger first, so we're going to do that now. Pop this off. We'll get this onto our hanger. We'll get this lined up. And we'll get our isolator onto our factory side hangers. It's seated. Now we can install our tail sections. So we're gonna take the one that looks more like an S-bend. We're gonna put that into our upper outlet pipe. So we're gonna grab our provided clamp, get that over our slip joint first. And we'll get this in place. It's fully seated. It is going to push your Y-pipe back a little bit, which is okay. Now we'll do the same thing for our other outlet pipe. That's going to be just about a 30-degree bend pipe. It's going to go on your lower outlet. Slip that one into place. We're going to get this roughly in the position we want it. Now what we're gonna do is make sure the rest of our system is not hitting or rubbing anything, and we're gonna tighten everything else down, and then we'll be able to adjust our tail section and install our tips. So we're gonna begin tightening at our hanger clamp and extension pipe, and then work our way all the way down, making sure everything is clear of any body parts. So we're gonna grab our 15mm socket on our impact. For this first one, I actually want it to sit a little bit more straight. We're gonna cock it like that. And we'll do the same for this. Now, you want your clamps to be basically flush with the end of your slip joints. That's gonna give them the best seal. Next, we'll get our muffler outlet. And we can send this clamp up to our over axle. We'll tighten down our over axle clamp. Next, we can tighten down our Y-pipe clamp. You want to make sure that's not hitting your heat shield because it is very close. All right, so now once you've got the rest of your system tightened, it's time to adjust our tailpipes. You can use your tips for this. However, it's good to get these as symmetrical as possible before you put the tips on. You don't want to risk banging your tips together and scratching those up in the process of trying to get them right. So you just want to kind of make sure these are on the same plane as far as level and the way they're facing. You can even come from the side here and match up their angles. Your upper one is going to sit a little bit farther back. That's okay. So once you're satisfied with a base fit, we're going to snug up our clamps for these outlets. And that'll be the same as the rest of them, your 15 mil socket on your impact. Just want to tighten these down. Get this upper one. Now we'll get our tips on and make sure this is where we want them. So now we're going to install our tips. You want to start with your inner tip, as both of your bolts for your clamp face the same direction. Once you get this outer one on, you're not going to be able to get to the inner one. So we're going to slide this on. Now you do have some room if you want to sit these farther back, bring them farther out, whatever you want to do. We're going to bring ours just with a little poke out from our body. Now I highly recommend using hand tools to clamp these down because your clamping system is very sensitive. So we've got an 8mm Allen socket on our ratchet and we'll tighten down our first clamp. Now these are slash cuts, so you want to make sure they're facing up. And once you got this one on, we're going to get the second one on and match it up with the first. So we'll get this in place. Match our angles. Bring this one out so it's similar fit. And then we'll tighten this one up as well. That about wraps up our review and install of our MBRP Armor Plus single exhaust system with dual polish tips and side exit for your 14 to 24 6.4 liter Ram 2500 and 3500. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.